Yo, what's good, Girl413 here back in the day, and today, guys, we are here because, well, it is December, and with a brand new month, that means a brand new car pack for Forza Motorsport 7, and like usual, Johnny Wanna has created a clue thread over on the Forza Motorsport 7 forums. Link will be down in the description below, so you guys can go ahead and check it out and make some guesses of your own. But as well, though, guys, leave your guesses down in the comments section on this video, because I really want to hear what you guys have to say, as it's honestly really interesting to see how, other people start thinking about some of these clues, because honestly, they're so vague, they are so hard to get, there are so many different options for them, which is why in this video, I'm going to have a couple of different options for each one of these clues, except some of them only have one clue, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and roll with it. But without further ado, let's go ahead, hop on into it. So coming in at clue number 1, we have, sometimes I like fish tacos, but other times I just prefer pasta with sausage. And honestly, I'm thinking pasta with sausage, fish tacos, damn it, I'm hungry. So I actually went to the grocery store. I'm not even joking about this, guys. I went to the grocery store, I bought some corn tortillas, I bought some ground beef, I bought some, taco seasoning. I came home, made myself some tacos, and they were delicious. But that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about taco recipes. We're here to talk about the cars. So I started thinking about this for a second. Okay, where are fish tacos from? Because pasta with sausage, that's probably Italian. It probably means there's an Italian car in here. So I started looking up, okay, where are fish tacos from? And it came up Baja California. Okay, an Italian car that has to do with California. The Ferrari California. It's a no-brainer. But we already have a Ferrari California, so I'm thinking, okay, so what else could it be? And then I started doing a little bit of research, and I found out that there was actually a brand new Ferrari California introduced called the Handling Speciale. Now the issue is, though, is I don't think that Forza would be bringing in a Ferrari California that just essentially has upgraded suspension, because what we're going to do, by the time we take it out to a racetrack, we're going to dink around with that suspension, and it's going to be basically useless, and it'll just be another Ferrari California. So what car is it actually going to be? And I started scrolling through, and I found out that there was a race called the Baja. Now there's a couple different varieties. There's even one that's in Italy called the Italian Baja. And I was looking for car lists to see if there's anything in there that wasn't already in the game, but I could not find a car list for the life of me. And then as well, there were some Baja races in Baja, California, like the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000. And after doing a lot of research, I stumbled across one photo. Just one photo of a Ferrari 308 GTB racing in one of these Baja races. At least that's what the photo claimed to actually be. You never know, sometimes there's fake photos out there. And so maybe it's a Ferrari 308 GTB, and I was like, yes, this is the car, it has to be this car. I've dug deep, but then all of a sudden, I'm over on the Forza forums, and I noticed one person's guess. I don't remember the guy's name, but he guessed the 2018 Ferrari Portofino. And I thought, well, that's the replacement for the Ferrari California. That's gotta be it. That has got to be it. And then I actually look up what Portofino means. Portofino is a fishing village in Italy. And it's like, how am I so stupid? A fishing Italian village. Okay, this has got to be it. And that is going to be my guess. It is going to be the 2018 Ferrari Portofino. Coming in at clue number 2, we have, if someone tells you that something is unnecessary, over the top, it's probably something you actually want. And you should talk to that other person anymore. Now, there is one thing that I noticed about this sentence. There is a spelling error. It should say, you actually want, and you shouldn't talk to that other person anymore. However, though, how they actually spelled it could be the clue overall, because they said you should. So maybe it is what is missing is NT. Now, I'm sure that this has got to be something that has to do with the clue. However, though, I didn't actually take it into effect. So I'm just going to go with a couple cars that are really, really over the top. Coming in at my first guess is the Maybach Landaulet. Now, guys, what is more over the top than a Maybach? Am I right? Am I right? Because, honestly, Maybach, it is a luxurious vehicle. I mean, you can't get any more luxurious than a Maybach. And the Maybach Landaulet has one of the craziest options ever on a car. Because, you've heard of wood paneling and wood trim, and then they got carbon fiber trim, and then they got all these exotic materials. How about granite? In the Maybach, you can get granite trim in your car. Granite trim. Why on earth would you be like, granite trim? That sounds like a good idea. I'd rather have like some sort of crappy epoxy trim with some sparkles in it before granite, because granite is just heavy. It's just going to make the car extremely heavy, and it's going to lose horsepower. That's just me though. Maybe, you know, you're not too concerned with horsepower because you're sitting in the back seat, you've hired your driver to drive you around, and you just want a nice granite surface. I mean, that is going to make that car hard to control. It's going to make it heavy. It's going to be ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure that the granite is, you know, within a certain amount. Like, it's probably not all like granite. It probably isn't going to make so much of a difference, but granite though. Granite. And then my second guess though is none other than the Bugatti Chiron, because what is more ridiculous than a $3 million car with 1,500 horsepower? That's absolutely insane. That is extremely over the top. No one really needs that, but we all want it. We all want it in Forza Motorsport 7. I mean, and this could be the opportunity that they see to, you know, go ahead and bring this in. Now we come to clue number 3. And my clue number 3, I think, is actually kind of wrong, because it doesn't actually fit the description, but it would still be a cool car to actually really see coming into the game. And the clue is one-off, one-win wonder. And my guess is the Brabham BT46B fan car, the only Formula 1 car with a 100% racing record, only had one race. And the whole story behind this is basically Brabham was sitting down, they're like, okay, we got this new ground effects thing that's coming out. We need to get ground effects put onto our Formula 1 cars, but how do we do it? Because they were having trouble, you know, getting them to work on their cars. So instead, they came up with this ingenious idea: we're going to put a massive fan on the back of the car. And this is why it is called the Brabham BT46B, also, you know, cleverly known by fans as the fan car, because what else are you going to call it? It's a Formula 1 car with a giant fan on the back of it. I mean, it's crazy, it is ridiculous, and honestly, it would be such a cool car. But the reason why it does not actually fit the description, 2 of them were made. 2 of the Brabham BT46Bs were made. One was driven by Niki Lauda, who actually won the Formula 1 race that they entered. The other one was driven by John Watson. So that is why I don't think it's going to be this car. However, you never know. Maybe Forza got their information wrong, didn't read through the wiki page far enough to actually determine that, oh wait, there were actually 2 of the cars. So that is always a possibility. Then coming in at clue number 4, we have long before the Hemi, there were other engines with hemispherical heads that radically improved performance. This car is one of them. So before the Hemi means that it is before 1951 when Chrysler first revealed the Hemi engine. So this narrows it down pretty damn significantly, and I started doing some research on Wikipedia. You know, Wikipedia is always helpful, and then reminded me to pay like $3 to donate or something like that. I just don't even know. And then as soon as we get through it, I start finding this one, and this was my first guess, was a Ford. But the issue is though, is that the engine that used the hemispherical engine was an aftermarket engine made by Ardal. So the question is, are we going to get a car brand called Ardal, and that's what they're going to call it, or is it going to be like a Ford, and it's going to be like whatever the car engine was with the Ardal engine in it? That is one question to see. It would be very kind of interesting to see if Forza actually went this route. And then I did a little bit more research, and then I found the Jaguar Xk120. But this can't be the car because it's already in the game and it is locked. And then finally, I came up with this guess, and it is the 1950 Lancia Aurelia, or basically any pre-1951 4-cylinder Lancia. I mean, they all had basically hemispherical engines, and it's crazy. Or hemispherical heads, because the engine's just part of. Yeah, you guys get what I'm actually saying. Before someone, you know, comes out and says, "It's not a hemispherical engine, it's a hemispherical head." I know! Alright guys, I know. So, there are a bunch of different cars that this could be. This could be the Lancia Lambda, the Artena, the Augusta, the Aprilia, and the Ardea. So there are at least 6 different options for this car to actually be, and I'm going to say that it is going to be a Lancia, and my guess is going to be the Aurelia, which was their most recent one, made in 1950. Coming in at clue number 4, we have bare bones and basic. You could chase or be chased in it. So immediately what my mind went to thinking is cop car. It has got to be a cop car of some kind. So I started researching old classic cop cars because we haven't really had our, American muscle-ish car yet coming into this. So I started going ahead, I started doing my search, and I come up with the 1969 Dodge Polara Pursuit. It was a race car, or not a race car, it was a cop car that was commonly used, and I mean, it was honestly one of the most popular cop cars used. So I thought, man, maybe this will be the option, maybe they'll put like the light on it and all that sort of stuff. And then I started looking into it a little bit more. And somebody over on the forums had suggested, what about the Plymouth Roadrunner? This was actually a bare bones car. I mean, Plymouth at the time was considered to be a taxi manufacturer. And the Plymouth Roadrunner, didn't really have any luxuries. It was very bare bone and basic. And it was used in some areas as a cop car. And some people actually, ran from the cops in this car because it was a fast car that you could run away from. I mean, it just was. So my guess is actually going to be the Plymouth Roadrunner. Coming in at clue number 6, though, we have this will be the oldest car in a Forza Motorsport series, which honestly gives us hundreds and hundreds of guesses. This one is very, very vague, but what I'm going to go ahead and go with is the 1927 Bentley 4.5 liter, and basically this one's almost kind of just a wish list. Honestly, I think this car would be really cool to have in the game because, well, it's owned, or one of them is owned by none other than Brian Johnson, who is a member of AC/DC. And, I think the car was actually shown on Top Gear. I'm not entirely sure on that, guys, don't shoot me. But I think when I was doing a little bit more research, they said something about Thunder Guts. And I think that was the car that was actually on Top Gear, not the Bentley 4.5 liter. But doing some research, they were saying, oh, Brian Johnson drives the Bentley 4.5 liter on Top Gear. And it's like, I don't think that was the car he actually drove. I think he drove the Thunder Guts, not the 4.5 liter. So that was just some quick research I was doing, and I think the Bentley 4.5 liter would be really cool, or having the Bentley Thunder Guts in would be an amazing car to have as well. But finally, coming in at clue number 7, this is a rig that can truly do just about anything depending on the configuration. I will repeat this one because I kind of messed up the whole sentence before. This is a rig that can truly do just about anything depending on the configuration. Depending on the configuration is really where I'm coming with my clue. And that is because there was one car in particular back in the day, which honestly, this car would actually fit with clue number 6. But if we put this car in, clue number 6 would change. And that is the Model T. Because the Model T was one of these cars where, it was an extremely mass-produced car. People were using it for trucks, for coaches, for sedans, coupes, all kinds of things. People would modify the car and everything like that because it was affordable to do so. And it honestly, was a car that could basically do anything. But I was reading on the forums, and what most people are saying it's going to be is the Mercedes Unimog, which honestly I'm kind of excited if it is the Mercedes Unimog, because that is just such a weird, unique car. It would be amazing to actually see coming into a Forza Motorsport 7 game. I mean, what is cooler than having basically just this big old truck driving around the track? I mean, we've already have one in the Mercedes racing truck, which leads me into the next guess. Some people were taking the word rig and making it like big rig and saying, it's going to be a Freightliner, it's going to be a Volvo semi-truck, it's going to be something along those lines. I mean, those will be kind of cool to see as well, but honestly, I do think it is going to be the Mercedes Unimog. Anyway, though, like I said earlier, go ahead and leave your guesses down in the comment section down below, as I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. As well, if you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Square413 and Instagram.com/Square413. And as well, if you guys like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.